All right, gather around the campfire. Uncle Case is about to talk about an article from Kotaku talking about dead video game franchises we would like to see make a return. I always think these are funny because Kotaku is one of those ones where sometimes they got their finger on the pulse and they know exactly what we want to see. Other times they just completely whiff, and I have no idea where they even pull some of these titles from. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I already see the first one. I have not seen any of the other ones in this list. There's like 21 franchises that they think that need to make a return in 2024. Let's get into it. So, of course, like I said, I've only seen the first one. The first one's Sly Cooper. Now, let me say this. Sly Cooper is a very fun franchise. I've played the first two out of them. But in today's age, I highly doubt platformers like Sly Cooper are going to do really well. But I do kind of want to go back through and play Sly Cooper because it actually has a really, really good story. I don't want to spoil anything. It looks like the trilogy ended on a high note. The last one was 2005. I thought it was later than that, and that was Sly Cooper 3: Honor Among Thieves. Like I said, I haven't played that one. I played the first two, but I highly doubt that I'll ever bring it back because it is a platformer. The next one we're talking about is Bionic Commando. I don't think Bionic Commando is ever going to make a return, and that I'm only saying that due to the fact that they did try to revive Bionic Commando. Let's see if this has 2009. They did try to revive it in 2009. I tried playing it. It was not good at all. But Bionic Commando, another one I highly doubt they're going to bring back. It'd be cool, but I doubt it. This one, Onimusha, never played it, never even heard of it. It says right here, Capcom's game carved out a distinct niche for themselves in the game landscape in the early 2000s, specifically where they reminisce of the Resident Evil games with their pre-rendering backgrounds, fixed camera angles, and environmental puzzles, but they also fuse sword-swinging samurai action with the element of demonic horror. This actually might be a game I may want to check out. Because, like, now, don't get me wrong, I love the original Resident Evil, but that fixed camera angle, it can be rough sometimes, guys. That's all I got to say. Moving on to the next one, which is Parasite Eve. And we're not talking about the Bring Me the Horizon song. So what's funny is, this Parasite Eve, right? Never played it, never heard of it until recently. And I watched a documentary talking about the entirety of this Parasite Eve game. It's not just a game, it's like a movie franchise, it's a book, it's all kinds of stuff. But I don't really know much about it other than the documentary I watched. Parasite Eve is great for many reasons, not least because it's an outstanding use of New York City. Yes, banana stuff happens in this game, and at least one key character crosses line into stereotypical at times, blah, blah, blah. So I do kind of want to play like a really good RPG, but Parasite Eve I don't think is in the cards for that. LA Noire. So I remember when this game came out, I was kind of stuck on Barrack Watch there for a while, and this was towards the beginning of my Navy career. LA Noire is an amazing story. It is so well crafted, well thought out. I definitely think that it deserved a sequel, but was it Studio Bonsai, I believe, is the one that did LA Noire, and it's of course done, like, I think Rockstar published it, and it's an amazing story. I actually might play through that one on the channel, but LA Noire, it'd be nice if they did do another one, except like a different time frame, kind of like they do for like True Detectives on HBO. I highly doubt they will, but it would be pretty freaking cool. Titanfall. Okay, so Titanfall is one of those games that not many people realize is the prequel and setup for Apex Legends. I think the first one was so good. I played so much of it. The only problem I had with the first one is the fact that the the game relied so heavily on the online player, like online play, that you would drop into the campaign and you could be in the middle of it because every single match was like it was just crazy. But Titanfall, highly recommended. I think it was way ahead of its time, especially the PvP and the PvE all in one map, and then on top of that, calling mechs in. It was just crazy. Parappa the Rappa. I played this as a kid. It was very irritating because I was bad at the rhythm games, if that makes any amount of sense. Parappa the Rappa, I think they did two of them, and they were they were fun, but they had some very catchy music. Like I said, I wasn't good at rhythm games when I was a kid. I highly recommend playing the first one. I'll have to see if they got it on the PlayStation. I kind of want to check that out now too. But I don't think they're going to bring back Parappa the Rappa because like rhythm games nowadays don't really do too well. Gravity Rush. Okay, I have never played this game. I've heard about it. I've had people recommend it to me. One of the all-time best feelings I've ever felt in a game I've ever played is a free falling in Gravity Rush. The series protagonist Cat is one of the most gloriously drawn and animated characters I've ever seen, and she is never more expressive than when she is dropping from the sky. Gravity Rush camera swings anywhere you want it to go, allowing you to frame Cat's free fall however you please. You can follow her from afar, ascribe the cinematography. Words are hard. Rule of third and frame her dramatically or stick the camera comically close to her. Cat's hair and clothing catches the wind, which rushes past her and twirls her through the air and spreads her arms while recklessly abandonment. She's like a little kid realizing that she can fly for the first time. Actually sounds pretty cool. Now, is it a game I'll play? Probably not from the sounds of that. Okay, Banjo-Kazooie. So I love Banjo-Kazooie. It's a game that was done by Rare, but guess who owns the rights to Banjo-Kazooie right now? I believe it is Microsoft. And of course, the company is busy. So Rare, like I said, they're the ones that did the original Banjo-Kazooie, are also the company that does Sea of Thieves nowadays, and they're busy, busy, busy. I don't foresee them bringing Banjo-Kazooie out of retirement anytime soon. But yeah, Nuts and Bolts, which was like their racing version of it, done in 2006, it was not that good of a game. Viva Pinata, oh my god. Viva Pinata, I don't, oh, I have a love-hate relationship with that. It's a perfect video game. You're telling me a garden simulator in which you build a home for living pinatas that reproduce by dancing doesn't sound like the tightest shit you've ever played. No. My brother used to play the shit out of Viva Pinata. I always thought it was more like Animal Crossing. For whatever reason in my head, I always have Viva Pinata more like Animal Crossing than what a garden simulator, but it is a garden simulator. Moving on to the next one. Splinter Cell. Oh, dude. To bring Sam Fisher out of retirement would be so freaking amazing. Ubisoft has been hinting at bringing Splinter Cell out and releasing a new game. But when? When are you going to do it, Ubisoft? I mean, you wasted all that time and energy on freaking The Division Heartland, and yet we still have yet to get a sequel to Splinter Cell. Bring Sam Fisher out of retirement. Let's get it. Because, like, I'm not going to lie, I was like 12, 13 when the first Splinter Cell came out. And it was so good. Like, the stealth, like, all that stuff. Like, I loved it. I'm terrible at stealth. Okay, Killzone. Killzone was supposed to be the Halo killer back in the day, right? I never played it, truth be told, surprisingly. But I just remember them framing it as the Halo killer, and it totally missed its mark. Killzone, I've had zero interest in playing it. Next one. Wait, did I do two? I did two of these. Okay. We're on to the next one, Deus Ex. So, like, Deus Ex is one of those ones, it kind of has that feeling of, whatchamacallit, cyberpunk, because you're cybernetic and there's stealth and there's action and all that stuff. Deus Ex, to me, when I played the newer ones, was kind of aggravating. I know that there's a massive fan base for it though. What would I play it? Probably not. Next one, Red Faction. Red Faction. So back in the day when Red Faction came out, it was so good. And I played Red Faction Guerrillas as well. Remains satisfying gameplay to play. Sure, it falls victim to conditions of having large open worlds that has that is a little too empty, but destructive physics systems. Because that was the one big drawing point for Red Faction Guerrillas, the fact that like everything's destructible. And it was really good, and especially for its time on the Xbox 360, PS3. I don't foresee them bringing that back. Because I don't think Red Faction Guerrillas sold that well, which kind of surprises me. Resistance. This is another one I never played. I watched a lot of gameplay on it back in the day, because, like, if you guys couldn't tell, I love the Xbox 360. So a lot of the PS3 titles that were exclusives, I didn't get to play because I didn't have a PS3. It was either have an Xbox 360 or a PS3. I chose Xbox 360 because of Xbox Live. All my buddies were on there, so I never got to play it. I mean, I'm with how big, because this is like a Fallout style type game, post-apocalyptic. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up bringing it back, making it more of an RPG style. But PlayStation FPS freaks at the time of the PS3 era had two major franchises. So, of course, Killzone, like I said, never played it, and Resistance. I didn't play the original, but one of my older cousins had picked up the second title on the PS3. If you ask most folks my age, the formative FPS title of their youth is probably Call of Duty, which it was 100%. But like I said, with how big Fallout has gotten over the last, because the show came back out, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up trying to bring this back. Siphon Filter. Okay, so Siphon Filter is another great game I loved when I was a kid. This was like PlayStation 2 era for me. Me playing Siphon Filter. Because they say Resistance, Killzone, SOCOM. I played the shit out of SOCOM on the PlayStation 2. But I'm kind of surprised they haven't released a new one or attempted to try to, revive this franchise. But it's just one of those things. Oh, Beautiful Joe. Bro, Beautiful Joe's such a beautiful side scroller action, kind of like beat 'em up style. Looking at Beautiful Joe, Capcom short-lived side-scroll, beat 'em up. See, they said it before I even said it. I was surprised at how quickly the series came and went, which 100%. I know there was Beautiful Joe 1, 2, and there was a handheld port, I believe, for the PSP. So good. So beautiful. It's a great game. I'm kind of surprised Capcom hasn't tried to capitalize on like the HD remakes and all that and doing that with Beautiful Joe, because even for it being a 2005 like game, it still holds up very well. I actually have it on my GameCube, but it's a beautiful game. It's so much fun. It's a great story. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Beautiful Joe, SSX. This is going to be a snowboarding game. For a time during the PS2 era, the SSX games offered up awesome extreme sports action, letting you do 6 snowboarding tricks while listening to "It's Tricky" by Run DMC. 100%. Like, I remember playing the demo because I didn't actually buy this game, and it's tricky, because it was SSX Tricky was the name of the game, and yeah, like SSX, like. I mean, if they brought back Tony Hawk, I'm kind of surprised they haven't brought back SSX. Dead Rising. I'm on the fence about this one because Dead Rising 1 was a very well done game. It was very time constrained. There's all kinds of stuff with it. But there was the Dead Rising 4 game that did come out. I didn't play it. I played Dead Rising 1, 2, off the record. 3, which was an Xbox One launch. and I didn't play Dead Rising 4. I had zero interest in playing Dead Rising 4, but they did bring back Frank West. Um, it's a lot of fun, but I highly doubt they're going to bring it back only because like I think Dead Rising 4 flopped hard. Left 4 Dead. Let me tell you, I have so many hours in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 on the 360 and so many dumb moments with my buddies. If you guys don't know, it's a 4-player shoot 'em up like zombie survival game. But one thing somebody mentioned, I don't know if I read it in an article or I don't know if I watched it in a YouTube video or if one of my buddies mentioned it, but Valve, Steam, does not actually do number 3 for any games. And then on top of that, Turtle Rock Studio, which is technically the studio, I guess, that did Left 4 Dead, did the spiritual successor, and I can't remember the name of it, but it came out like 2-3 years ago, and that game was dead on arrival. Like I said, it would be amazing if we can get Left 4 Dead 3. But Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, amazing. On top of that, Left 4 Dead 2 had a bunch of DLC. So much fun. I love Left 4 Dead. That would be great. PlayStation All-Stars. Okay, so this one is a Smash Brothers clone. This is another one I did not play because it came out during the PlayStation 3 era. It's one of those ones, like, it's a really cool concept considering, like, you see right here, you have Kratos fighting Sweet Tooth. But I highly doubt they're going to do another Smash Brothers clones because there's so many Smash Brothers. You got Brawlhalla, you got, the Warner Brothers one. Of course, you got Super Smash Brothers. But PlayStation All-Stars, I highly doubt it's going to come back. It'd be pretty cool if they did, but I highly doubt it. We're going full screen. So, is there any games on that list that you're like, because there's a couple on there I was like, don't really need to be on there. Probably let Sleeping Dogs lie. Is there any dead game titles out there that you want to see come back? Leave it down in the comment section because, like, I'm kind of disappointed they didn't have Jak and Daxter on there. In my opinion, Jak and Daxter deserves to come back, considering how many Ratchet and Clank games there are. There's so many goddamn Ratchet and Clank games. I think Jak and Daxter deserve a revival. Let's make it one more round because let me tell you, Jak and Daxter are amazing titles. 1, 2, 3, and Jak X, even the racing one was pretty decent. But anyways, you guys, don't forget to mash that like button. Like I said, comment down below which game would you want to see come back. And subscribe. We're on our way to 8,000, and I can't do this without you guys. You guys are awesome. Stay awesome. I'll catch you later.